So it looks like PSG have agreed a deal to sign Mika Godts from Ajax. And if you haven't watched much Eredivisie football, you might be looking at this transfer thinking, who exactly have PSG spent this money on? Well, I'm going to tell you, he's a 21-year-old Belgian winger coming off a season where he produced 17 goals and 12 assists in the Eredivisie. So 29 goal contributions. That's coming from a winger. And what makes him so interesting isn't just the numbers, it's how he actually gets them, because this is a player who wants the ball, wants defenders isolated against him, and more than anything else, he wants to carry the ball forward. And once he starts running at you, from the videos and from the reports, good luck. That's all I'll say. This is one of those players where the dribbling immediately jumps off the screen, but there's a lot more to his game than simply beating defenders. So, what exactly did PSG buy, and who exactly are they getting? So he's predominantly a right-footed left winger, and the easiest way I describe him is probably a winger who constantly wants to manipulate the defender in front of him. He's not necessarily somebody who's doing 10 step overs every time he gets the ball, even though he can, but his dribbling is much more functional than that. He'll slow the defender down, shift his body one way, change direction, and then accelerate into the space he's just created. And statistically, you're talking about roughly 3 completed take-ons per 90 minutes. While the numbers you've got here also put him in the 96th percentile for progressive carries. So this isn't just dribbling just to look good, even though he does. He's actually going somewhere with it. But this is where I think Guts becomes a bit more interesting, because once he attracts that defender, he's actually very good at recognizing what happens afterwards, which I think quite a lot of players fail with, because the first action is usually good. It's the second action. If the fullback follows him inside, Guts can release the runner going around him. If the defender backs off, he keeps carrying. If there's space behind the defensive line, he'll attack it himself. And when you look at the analysis and, that the highlights and all of these kind of things, his ability to get involved and build up, receive between the lines, combine with the third man, and then make those aggressive runs into the penalty area, it's all there for you guys to see. So he isn't somebody who just stands on the touchline waiting for the ball. He can come inside, he can go back outside, and then suddenly he just appears in the box. That's what makes him difficult to track. And then you've got, of course, the end product. As I mentioned before, 17 league goals and 12 assists. That's pretty good. Now, obviously, it's in the Eredivisie, whether you rate it, whether you don't, that's for you to kind of decide. But he's particularly dangerous coming from that left-hand side onto his right foot, where he can bend shots towards that far corner, but he's also comfortable shooting across himself and going towards the near post. That means when he gets into those positions, the goalkeeper can't automatically predict where he's going. And I really like his decision making. There are wingers out here, who beat one player and immediately think, right now, let me beat 3 more, or let me try something, in this kind of position because I've already beat a player. But he don't really play like that. If the pass is there, he'll make the pass. If the shot is there, he's 100% going to, try and shoot. And, he's described that he's got that selflessness and decision making as one of the impressive parts of his game. And you can see why he ended the season with those kind of assist numbers. But listen, I ain't saying he's perfect. Just because he's joining PSG, it doesn't mean that he's the perfect winger or he's going to be the perfect replacement for potentially a Bradley Barcola. His dribbling success rate in the numbers here is around 47%, and there are occasions where he needs space to build momentum rather than exploding past somebody from a standing start. That could become important at PSG because they're obviously going to face plenty of teams who try to sit in these low blocks, try to slow the game down, make sure that their best players are not getting on the ball. And if the defenders don't commit and simply show him towards the touchline, he can become probably a little bit more predictable, I would say. His left foot can improve as well. I don't think he's that strong on that side at this moment in time because, right now his best work still comes back onto that stronger side, which, listen, it's not a major problem, but it might be something to, would I say, take him to that next level if you're looking at a player like Kvaratskhelia as an example. But listen, that's kind of like the biggest area I'd be watching as he tries to make that step up, playing for arguably the best team in Europe. As I mentioned, listen, he's just moved to the best team, in Europe, back-to-back Champions League winners, back-to-back UEFA Super Cup winners, back-to-back Ligue 1 titles. What else, have PSG won, or should I say, what haven't they won over the last couple of seasons? He's 21 years of age. He's coming into a team where he doesn't immediately have to carry the attack. They've got the likes of Kvaratskhelia, Doué, Dembele already there to do that. And stylistically, he gives Luis Enrique another winger who can dribble, combine attack space, and actually contribute defensively. That last part, I feel, matters the most, weirdly enough, because at Ajax, he's already shown, the willingness to recover, help his fullbacks, and get involved without the ball, which is something Luis Enrique demands from his wide players. We've heard Kvaratskhelia talk about this. Dembele has spoken about this as well. 55 million euros, it's a bit of money, but I mean, in today's market, it doesn't seem so bad. Playing for Ajax in the Eredivisie is completely different from trying to win the Champions League with PSG, but still, I think it's a pretty good deal. And you're buying a player who isn't necessarily here for the now, because they've already got that class winger on that left hand. In fact, they've got class forwards, to be honest with you. So he's not a player that needs to come in and hit the ground running, but he's definitely a player that, if given the opportunity, I do believe that, he can, help improve, potentially, or at least complement that PSG attack, the explosiveness, from a standing start, develop his weaker foot and keep decision-making and end product that he's already been showing, then you've potentially got a serious winger there, because he isn't just somebody who can dribble, as I mentioned. He can carry, he can create, he can score, he can combine. And when you put all of that together, you do start to understand why PSG and Luis Enrique have moved so aggressively, to get this deal done. But we'll have to wait and see, of course, how he does for PSG under Luis Enrique. How many minutes does he get? Are they going to still continue rotating like they have been doing? But he looks a talented individual is probably what I will say. How he does, how he fares, how he looks amongst probably the best forwards in the world at this current moment in time remains to be seen. But let me know what you guys think so far, what you've kind of seen of him, if you've seen any compilations, any matches of him. When do you think he's going to be, would I say, somewhat ready? How does Luis Enrique kind of play it this season? Let me know your thoughts and keep the same energy. Stay blessed, and I will catch you guys real soon. Peace.